we really focus on the social media and the word of mouth aspect of our marketing. Just because, word spreads, everyone's on social, so we are able to capture a wide audience in order to let people know that, we have this beer and they can come in and get it. So it definitely is, very valuable to our tourism sector as well, and we're a big part of that.
Welcome to the Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast. Join host Marco Torres, along with expert guests, as they deliver incredible, proven solutions to your marketing challenges in each power-packed episode.
Welcome to another episode of the Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast. Today we have a special guest who is making a significant impact in the world of craft brewing and community engagement. Joining us is Kyle Little from Railway City Brewing Company, a standout brewery located in the charming city of St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada. Kyle is a retired professional axe-throwing champion that now runs the event marketing and more for Railway City Brewing. Railway City Brewing was founded in 2008 with the vision of creating a brewery that honors the history and heritage of their small industrial town. And over the years, they've grown to become more than just a brewery. They offer a wide range of beverages, including craft beer, non-alcoholic wine, mixed drinks, soft drinks, alongside a diverse and delicious food menu. But that's not all. Railway City Brewing is a hub for community events, hosting everything from live music, trivia nights, comedy shows, Super Bowl parties, open mic and art nights, and much more. They're probably going to bring some axe throwing events there, but they're also bringing soon. Marketing Boost will be sponsoring an arm wrestling event actually on July 30th of this year, 2024, at the brewery. So I look forward to meeting you soon, Kyle, in person. Kyle, say hello and welcome to the show.
Amazing. Thanks so much for that introduction, Marco, and hello, everyone.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Good to see you, Kyle.
Yes, good to see you as well.
And we've also got a couple of other guests on the show, Thomas Alexander and Andre. So we're here from Marketing Boost. Andre, guys, say hello, everybody, real quick.
Oh, hey everyone.
Good to see everybody. Nice to be able to see this coming to fruition. We've been looking at it for a long time. Looking forward to it, Kyle.
Thomas Alexander heads up the Arm Wrestling Federation, or what do you refer to your organization again?
Yeah, it's an arm wrestling league. We're under House of Arms is the name we go by. And we put on events all over the world. And we also have some big things coming out that we're doing with a major company December 5th and 6th in Las Vegas. So probably saving the actual what's going to be happening there for another call, but I just wanted to put that out there. It's a big date on the calendar for arm wrestling in this country.
Great. And Andre heads up sales and marketing for Marketing Boost. Andre is helping organize some of these events that Marketing Boost is going to be sponsoring. So he'll be chiming in as well here this morning. You want to throw in anything as we get out of the gate here, Andre?
I am in your glory spot. This is a big thing for me to get out into the world of podcasts. I'm into the sales sessions and the strategy and the marketing all the time. So it's good to get out of the closet.
Great.
Well, I got to be careful with saying things like that, don't I?
Yeah, in today's world, that can go a variety of directions. So, Kyle, back to you. You went from the sports world and axe throwing champion to heading up the marketing for the brewery. How did that happen, and what got you into the brewery world?
Yeah, well, first, I don't want to take too much credit. I'm not a champion, but I have competed in the International Axe Throwing Championship on 6 occasions over the years. So that's kind of where, my experience in the event and entertainment industry started. Always wanted to put myself in, unique environments. So managing axe throwing venues was, unique as it gets. Urban axe throwing started here in Canada and quickly moved over to the United States. And then just the progression with my career, I just wanted to continue to provide different experiences for guests. I live in St. Thomas. I settled here with my family. So when the opportunity came at the brewery, I love craft beer. So it was kind of a perfect fit in order to, tie my experiences with the guest experience with craft beer.
Awesome. Now let's tell us more about the brewery in general and about the beer. I'm going to pull up your website as well, and we'll take a look at that. One thing I have to tell you, I'm disappointed at. I should be drinking one of your beers as we speak, if not all of us here.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, our brewery located here in St. Thomas, Ontario. We started in 2008 when the craft beer scene was still quite new. So just to give you an example, I believe the number was we were brewery number 34 in Ontario. And that includes all the big breweries as well. And now we have over 400 craft breweries and breweries in the province. So it just kind of shows, where we've grown from and, being able to stay in the market with our great products and our great beer.
Now, tell me, this show is about sales and marketing, so how long have you been with the company now?
So almost 1 year. Last July, I started with the company. So I've been here for a year. And a lot of, why I came on was to, help grow our retail store and our tap room. So one thing that I focused on just with my background is running events. And I really wanted to create a community hub here for our community with, unique and a lot of different things for the community to enjoy. So as you can see on our website right now, these are our main events coming up in July and August. July, we have the Jazzman Band coming in. So we have a night of seafood sours and swing, where we have jazz music paired with a perch dinner from one of our local fisheries, as well as highlighting our newest seasonal, which is a sour strawberry lemonade sour. And then in August, we're putting on a country concert. So we have 3 local country artists that we're bringing in to put on a show for our community.
Now, how many breweries would you say that you compete with that also have these on-site event venues and space for events and serving food and everything else over and above the beer?
Yeah, I would say, the food is a common one. A lot of breweries, their tap rooms really expanded to have the food offering. So pretty much every craft brewery, can say they have some type of snack, kitchen food. And then in terms of the event space, it kind of all depends on, the size of the brewery. There's quite a few small, more of the micro breweries that are just focused on, the beer and the service. But I wanted to be, unique in the sense of, the different types of events. And I think, that with the House of Arms, it was a perfect event. One thing that craft breweries do kind of struggle with is, we really got to think outside the box in bringing people into our space on off nights. So that would be kind of like the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday nights that for us specifically are the off nights. So something that I've done, in the past is partner with like the local public library, and we've hosted a Legos and Loggers night, which brought in a diverse crowd of people to come in and enjoy our food and beer. And then the House of Arms, like I said, was just a perfect fit to continue those types of unique partnerships.
Yeah,
And
if
one
I
of
can
the
just jump in for a second,
Sure,
Marco, I
please
just wanted
do.
to say something about that. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to bring something different that hasn't really been seen in the marketplace, and the fact that you've got a great history of putting on events makes me know that this is going to be a very smooth event, run very, very well. And I think it's going to bring in, like you said, diverse crowds. It couldn't be much more diverse than either axe throwing or arm wrestling. But on that particular night, one of the things that we're going to do is with the people that we're bringing in, I just want to give a shout out to, so people can look them up in advance, especially if they're in your local area. Once featured on this exact podcast, Sarah Backman, 8-time world arm wrestling champion. So also got a background in professional wrestling with WWE and was an American Gladiator, Sweden's version. She's going to be there showing people how to arm wrestle and doing it in a very, very safe way. Corey Miller, who's a 20-time national champion and is known as the Giant Killer, 170 pounds. And I was just at an event in Arizona a couple of weeks ago, and I watched him take out a 285-pound, huge muscle guy in seconds. It was one of the most amazing things I've seen. And the other guy he was a professional arm wrestler also. And then to explain everything, Tim Talmage is going to be there. He's a master referee, goes all over the world, spends a lot of his time in Dubai and Turkey at some of the biggest events. And he's going to be in there again, showing everybody the safe way to arm wrestle and to have a good time doing it. So it's going to be a really relaxed atmosphere, but what a perfect event to team with. And we're very grateful for you hosting us here. And we're looking forward to a great event.
Yeah, we've got a number of ideas to take this to support other restaurants, bars, and breweries around Canada and the United States to help them promote. Because from what I would gather, I mean, the beer industry is very competitive, and small breweries like yours, or small and medium-sized breweries around the country are, I would imagine it's a struggle. Tell me about that just a little bit. What would you say is your biggest challenge in marketing to get people aware of your beer? And what is your overall strategy in expanding how do you go about marketing that to, expanding your user base of people wanting to buy and order and drink your beer outside of the brewery?
Yeah, I would say, like you touched on, very competitive market. Like there's so many breweries always coming up with new ideas and innovating the way, the flavors they put in the different beers. And I'd say with Ontario, with the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, which distributes alcohol in our province, it's kind of a bit of a monopoly. So, all of these craft breweries are, competing against one another to get in. Luckily, all that is expanding into, grocery and convenience shortly, which will allow, more access to get into stores. Yeah, what was
Why
sorry,
did
what
that
was the
take
next
so
part?
long, Kyle?
Pardon
I'm
me?
sorry. I was just going to say, why is that taking so long to get? I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, but I
Sure.
spent a couple of years in Whitby,
Yep.
Ontario, and it was always interesting to me that there was like beer stores. So you had the beer, it literally called, I think, the beer store,
The beer
and
store, yeah.
and then you'd have the wine and the other alcohol, a whole different place, but nothing involved in any other place to have distribution. Why the difference between what we do here as compared to what you guys are doing in Canada?
Yeah, it was always been government controlled, right? So having, that revenue stream for tax dollars coming through was, very beneficial for our country and our province. And, it also invests back into whether it be our healthcare, roads and other services. So we are very lucky in that sense of, getting those benefits of it. But I think that's why it's kind of taken so long in order to branch out.
And so your outlets are or you're hoping to be into these stores and retail stores over and above other bars and restaurants carrying your product?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. But like we're lucky enough where we have a retail store at our facility, so we're able to sell our beer, to go, as well as have people come in. And that's one thing that we've been doing is we really focus on the social media and the word of mouth aspect of our marketing. Just because word spreads, everyone's on socials, so we are able to capture a wide audience in order to let people know that we have this beer and they can come in and get it, as well as a lot of people use the craft beer industry as part of their vacations. I know my family, and many other families, whenever they're like, oh, we're going on vacation to whichever region, one of the first things that people are doing are like, oh, cool, what type of craft breweries in the area so we can try a new beer. So it definitely is very valuable to our tourism sector as well, and we're a big part of that.
Do you focus on getting other bars and restaurants to carry your brands on their menus?
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, we have our sales team that are, always out, and that's, looking for LCBOs, agency stores, and other licensees, which is the bars and restaurants. So something that we focused on most recently is really what we call owning our backyard. So, our region, Elgin County, Middlesex County, which is close to London, Ontario, all the way down to Windsor and up to Sarnia, is really the region that we're focusing on, and getting our beer within those establishments, because we are so close within driving distance, we can then also attract people right back to the brewery.
Cool. Let's take a minute to hear from Marketing Boost. Don't go away, folks. I've got some great questions to Kyle on how they grow and build their business. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
It's time to wow, surprise, and impress your clients with the most powerful customer draw card available anywhere. The Marketing Boost Solutions Show is brought to you by Marketing Boost, where you can get valuable travel and restaurant incentives to drive your leads from prospects to paying customers. Now you can offer complimentary hotel stays in over 130 destinations worldwide. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com and try it for free right now.
You just heard from Marketing Boost. Folks, if you own a business and you're not using rewards, perks, and incentives to grow your business, you need to check out Marketing Boost. We make it incredibly affordable for you to offer the wow, surprise, and delight factor to be able to entice your consumers, your clients, your leads to take whatever call to action you're looking for them to do. And speaking of that, Andre, can you jump in quickly and briefly tell us a little bit about the plan that we're working on for breweries like Kyle's here to where they can help them get more distribution for local bars and restaurants. And we're kind of piloting this idea with Kyle up in St. Thomas.
Yeah, like what Kyle said, many bars and restaurants don't even know what their craft beer companies that are in their neighborhood are selling. An entrepreneur that's running a restaurant's busy. He's 12 hours a day at the location. A salesman walking in the door is there while he's trying to prepare an order. We at Marketing Boost have always had promotional effects for loyalty brand and for engagement and call to action. And so we see an opportunity to be able to work with a craft brewer like Kyle and be able to use our incentive programs and jointly promote with local restaurants to improve their sales with their food basket, and also adding the beer in as a channel to be able to cross promote with. So with our incentive programs, a restaurateur gets not only a fresh beer to offer his clients, but some incentivization for that client to try new things on the menu, to try the new beer, to be incentivized to do business that way. That helps the brewery, that helps the restaurant grow. And each brewer, in a sense, becomes a catalyst for the local market to get further exposure through the promotions.
Now, there'll be a whole lot more to come on that in future webinars and what have you that we're putting together for the restaurant community and for breweries to participate in sponsoring some local nonprofits that we're supporting, as well as the arm wrestling programs that we'll be bringing to schools and universities, gyms, and a whole lot more fun we're going to be having with that. Now, back to you, Kyle, and your brewery, Railway City Brewing. Tell us about what type of community events do you host, and how do they contribute to the local culture?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with our weekly reoccurring events, so to speak. So every Friday night, between 5 and 8 p.m., we have live music. During the summers, we also have live music on our patio on Sundays between 1 and 4. And that's really important just because not only does it, bring people here to, enjoy live music, but it also supports the artists in their journeys to, better themselves, better their music, get exposure in front of crowds and make money themselves. On Wednesday nights, we have a very good local trivia following. Trivia is all the rage, and we've always, provided that to our community as well. So one thing that, has really shocked me with the year I've been here is how many people we get during the summer for a trivia night. So that's on our Wednesday night trivia. And then from there, I always look to, have those weekend type events that really bring people in. So we've hosted a Super Bowl tailgate party, music, open mic and art night, which allows local artisans to showcase their art while we have local musicians being able to showcase their music. A few times we've hosted drag nights, to bring in that community as well for the LGBTQ in our area. So yeah, we're always kind of, looking to, partner with different organizations, bring in those types of events and be diverse in the way that we look in that.
Now, I know you've only been with the company for a year, but tell us about the origins of Railway City Brewing. I understand you just recently moved, or not necessarily recently, but you moved to this new location, which is bigger and has all of this space for events. But how did it evolve since 2008?
Yeah, evolved quite a bit. So 2008, we were in a very small boutique, we'll call it. And then we moved here in 2011. So what that allowed us to do was, bring in more fermenters, bring in more bright tanks, bring in a state-of-the-art canning line. So it allows us to really help with producing our beer. Because we have all these different sales channels that we're selling through, whether it be, LCBO beer store, licensee, agency, as well as, my own retail store. So it's really grown over the years in the sense of, getting out in the community, selling to those channels. But like I said, my focus is definitely the retail tap room and the customer experience. Especially in the summer, we redid our patio this year to just create another space for our customers to enjoy, which really brings people out, brings the community together.
What inspired Railway City to diversify and start offering non-alcoholic wine, mixed drinks, and soft drinks over and above the main product of craft beer?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I came in, I worked with another company, and we kind of came up with this tagline called "More Than Just a Brewery." And that's one thing that, in my day-to-day work is I'm always constantly thinking of, like, hey, we're more than just a brewery. Not everyone who comes in here is looking for beer. So over the year I've been here, I've really been able to shift the mindset of our customer base specifically, whereas before they would come in for thinking, I'm going to come in, I'm going to grab a beer, maybe grab a snack, hang out. But now that, we're more than just a brewery, we have people being like, cool, let's come in, let's get a bite to eat, have a beer. My wife and friends are also going to come because I have someone who doesn't drink. We offer non-alcoholic soft drink options, or someone who doesn't drink beer. We have coolers, RTD wines, and mixed drinks as well. So it just allows us to really cater to, the masses and really have a great experience for everyone who walks through our doors.
Now, another question I have is, we've seen, and we're talking to other breweries recently, and others we see, trying to raise funds to open their brewery. What, you may not know the answer to this, but seems like a huge investment to get a brewery off the ground and all of the equipment required and so forth. Do you know what that investment typically takes to be able to have that, get that brewery off the ground, all the equipment required?
No, I'm not sure offhand on what the, total investment may be, but I what I can tell you, just being part of the leadership team here, is, it's quite a bit. And on top of all the tanks, all the lines, but you got to factor in all the maintenance costs. Just one example, if you have a little bit of an issue with the glycol chillers, and you're not able to bring your beer to the temperature that it needs to be in order to package, and it's already in a bright tank, well, that kind of bottlenecks your whole system, because then your beer that's in the fermenter can't get in the bright tank, which bogs that down, and then you're not able to brew. So it's definitely a lot of thought in the process, a lot of systems goes into it, and maintenance is definitely a big part of that.
Which explains why typically the local craft beer can sometimes be quite a bit more expensive than the standard stuff at the grocery store. So
Absolutely. Yeah, it's here's an interesting just stat for you. So Labatt's is one of our big breweries just up the road in London. And their line waste in one day for brewing their beer is more beer than we brew in an entire year. So that just kind of really gives you a sense of why our costs are so higher, just because we are not able to, brew in that high of quantities.
what would you say is the biggest challenge that a brewery has in marketing and sales, and how do you overcome it?
Yeah, I would say competition. There's and it's not even competition amongst, other breweries. It's just competition in the marketplace of activities to do. You can go into London and you can go axe throwing. You can go in town to the bowling alley. There's other great spots to eat in town. There's other golf simulators. There's just so much to do, and especially in the summertime when you factor, the beach down the road, and just people wanting to be outdoors. So it's really, being diverse in the experiences that you can provide. Like I touched on earlier, having the patio. I truly believe we have one of the best patios in town, and it really shows with the people that flock here on the weekend and enjoy our space. So yeah, it's just really competing with all the different things that are available for a consumer to do with their time and their money.
I've got some more questions coming right up for Kyle. Folks, don't go away. We're going to be right back after we hear from our sponsor.
Is your business on autopilot yet? Do you have automation in place to capture, nurture, and convert prospects into clients via email, SMS, ringless voicemails, appointment setting? Get all the inbound and outbound marketing tools in one place. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on automating your business so you can make money while you sleep.
You just heard from automationbooster.com. Guys, if you're in business and you're not automating everything, if you're generating leads, I mean, if you actually have an operating business and don't have a CRM, then you need to check out automationbooster.com. I've been an entrepreneur online since 1996. I've never seen all of what Automation Booster offers under one roof for as affordable as Automation Booster puts it together. Everything from your email marketing, text messaging, voicemail broadcasting, ringless voicemails, website builder, calendars. I mean, everything in one spot, easy to operate. Go check out automationbooster.com. Kyle, we're back with you, and I wanted to ask you about what percentage approximately, if you know, does the typical brewery like yours anyway, what percentage of the business comes from people that come to your facility versus your ability to get distribution outside of your facility?
Yeah, I can't give you a de facto number. Just every brewery is so different in the way they operate and the resources that they're able to pull on. And I can just touch on, my focus of the experience part of it. But I would say the majority of our business is here in the retail and tap room that I manage.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's interesting to know. And so tell us again, we've got the, let's get back to Alex, Andre here, and now tell us about what's coming up with the arm wrestling event on July 30th. And we'll see from there. Thomas, give us an update on that a little bit.
So yeah, we're going to be there. It's going to be from 7 to 9. Correct me if I'm wrong on anything, Kyle, please, by the way. We're going to be there from 7 to 9. Again, it's going to be a very fun, exciting time, but it's also going to be a chance to meet some people that have different backgrounds. I think you're going to get a kick out of meeting Sarah, and not just the arm wrestling part of it, but the life that she's led. She started off as being bullied at 13 years old. She didn't have many friends, and she got into arm wrestling thanks to a teacher at her school. And just the fact that she was able to do something that she enjoyed and was good at, it changed the way, the whole scope of her life from that point on. So you're going to have a chance to really, and she's great. She's so relaxed, and talking to her, Marco, this firsthand from being out with her in Chicago. She's as good as it gets. So we're going to be there from 7 to 9. We're going to be starting setup around 6 o'clock. So if you want to come in early, test out a couple of craft beers, get some food. I'm sure Kyle will have everything all set up and ready to go for that, and just enjoy the night. Participate. Participate if you're going to show up. It's fun. You really like it, and it's going to be something you're going to want to do a lot more of. And hopefully, if things go well, that'll be right back at Kyle's place.
And you have a number of other professional wrestlers over and above coming as well, right?
Yeah, we have about at least 50 right now committed arm wrestlers that are going to be there representing Canada. This is a big deal. So being part of what we're doing with Railway City Brewing is a big deal for arm wrestling. Much bigger in Europe than it is in the States and Canada. But it's growing. In the last year, it's grown rapidly. It's actually one of the fastest growing sports right now in the United States. And with the events that we have coming up that are going to be in Las Vegas, it's going to get a lot more press, a lot more notoriety. And some of these people are going to be, that you're going to meet there that night, are going to be stars on national TV coming up in 2025. So it's your chance to get them before they become famous. And
get that signature in.
Yeah, get that signature and take some pictures and stuff. There's a lot of things coming out that the people that you're going to meet there are going to be hitting the TVs and the influencer boards pretty high coming up in the next 6 to 12 months. So enjoy it.
If I could, I would just like to tie in I know my experience with axe throwing and, these niche sports, niche activities outside of the big ones that, people are used to, the culture and the community and the camaraderie that comes in amongst competitors and people, it's really something cool to be a part of. So that's what I would just like to, say from my experience. And I'm sure the arm wrestling community is no different in that sense.
Yeah, it's absolutely that way. The people that do it love it, and it becomes their passion in life. It's very interesting, and the groups travel together too to support each other. So even if they're not competing, they're there to push the sport, and that's the biggest thing that I've come across from this over the last 4 years. Is that camaraderie is something that I haven't seen since probably I've been in college with a fraternity. It's really interesting to watch, and everybody's welcome. And everybody's super nice. Even the people that look like they're ready to rip your head off are, the nicest people in the world. And all they want to do is have fun with it and see it grow. And that's why there's going to be such a large turnout. Canada's got a lot of big name arm wrestlers. Devin Larratt is one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name in the world. He's been a multi-time world champion, a great ambassador for the sport. No guarantees we can get him to show up for this yet, but we're trying. And if he pops in, you're gonna have to put tents outside because he is so famous around the world, but in Canada also. And he's a real hero. Military background before he got into arm wrestling, and this is going to be fun. It's going to be a great experience. So yeah, I'm excited to be there and to be partnering with Marketing Boost and Railway City Brewing. This is a fun event, and it's helping put us on the map in Canada, which is a big deal.
So one of the things we're hoping happens, Kyle, for you or for local surrounding bars and restaurants in your outreach is that we may end up with Tuesday night arm wrestling night at participating bars and restaurants in the area that carry your brands of beer, sponsored by your Railway Brewery and that kind of thing. So we are looking at that for your particular Railway Brewery and many others around the country. Andre, do you have any questions for Kyle or any comments to add in here?
Well, what I was going to comment on is the fact that part of our initiative in this area is to be able to provide the tool set that I'm sure Kyle will agree when he comes into promotion, handling the social media, handling an impetus to people to set himself apart, how to have front of mind attention of the marketplace audience. It takes something more than just the beer. There has to be the other events and drawing and the interaction and engagement. And with what we do in Marketing Boost and in Automation Boost, the combination of that gives a small businessman the ability to tie in that social media, those information landing pages, all of the things that make it hard for a solo small business operator to do. even at Rail City, I'm sure you at times get overwhelmed trying to answer DM messages from social media, answer emails, keep track of all that information. And part of our infrastructure and system not only promotes the volume to come in, but is a technique to be able to help you to handle that growth so that you can efficiently run your business and put profit on the bottom line.
I've got a question for you, Kyle. What do you do at your physical location to solicit contact information from everybody who walks in your store? What do you guys have set up that attempts to grab, or do you try to find ways to capture name, phone number, email from everybody who walks in?
Yeah, absolutely. So our POS system, which is Touch Bistro, they have a section of that we use for their loyalty and marketing. So on every table, we have a QR code. It's called the Brew Crew. So you can join the Brew Crew by scanning the QR code, signing up. Right away for sign up, you get a code for 10% off either our tap room or retail store. And then as you make purchases at our location, you generate points. So you generate 1 point for every dollar that you spend, and then there's certain mile markers that you hit, and that's using the train reference. You hit certain mile markers, and then you get rewards in order to use back at our retail and taproom store. So a certain amount of mile markers would be $5 off, and it scales all the way up to $100 off. So the more you spend at our retail and taproom store, the more we give back.
Cool. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. I'm amazed at how many, brick and mortar businesses I go into of all kinds, from bars, restaurants to any other kind of business, that do nothing to reward or to acquire data, which is one of the things we promote with Marketing Boost, Automation Booster. So I'm glad to hear you guys are doing that. You have your own rewards and perks platform, and hopefully you'll be adding Marketing Boost incentives. You got to look into that, Kyle, so that you can reward people once they reach those higher milestones of spending X amount. For example, I have a chain of coffee shops that offer, when you spend 1,000 points or $1,000 worth of coffee, snacks, etc., as an ongoing client, then they reward you with 5 nights in Cancun, Mexico, or 5 nights in Hawaii, and so on. So you can use the Marketing Boost in scale of incentives for different reward platforms.
Yeah, I would say you can't sleep on repeat customers. Not only is it just, part of revenue generation and bringing people into the brewery, but that's, a marketing tool that you can't sleep on, because if someone loves your spot, they bring family into town. This is where they're going to go. They travel elsewhere to other breweries. People talk, and, people love to, talk about their hometown and the great spots. So that's one thing too that, yeah, we do capitalize on is, rewarding, our repeat customers, and it really helps us in the long run.
Very cool. Folks, thanks. If you've liked the content we've brought you, please give us a like and a share down below. All of the links to contact Kyle, to find more about Railway City Brewery, to contact Thomas about an arm wrestling event at your brewery or your restaurant, or Andre, are all going to be down in the show notes below. So click, find, get a hold of us, send us an email, text, or comment in the YouTube channel or wherever you watch us, and we'll get back to you. Kyle, any last words, any promos you're running right now that anybody should know about your business, and come on in to get some beer?
Yeah, just know here at Railway City Brewing, we provide a great experience. Check out our website, railwaycitybrewing.com. Check out our events page, see what's going on. We also make great beer. It's a great liquid that we have. And always remember that we're more than just a brewery.
So Kyle, I do have just one last question. I was thinking, what's the thought process in creating a different brew? I mean, do you want something that's bitter? Do you want something that's citrusy, sweet? Is that where you start, or you see these really funky names on the brews sometimes? I drank something a couple weeks ago at a craft brewery, which I've never drank the craft beer before until we started connecting with you, and it was like Old Goat something or other. Where does that start? Does the process start with the brewer thinking, let's make a certain flavor, a taste, and how does that work?
Yeah, so I'll touch on it. We have an Express series, which is our monthly release. So every month, under the Express series, we come up with a new brew, and kind of, at the end of the year, we, plan out, what that is going to look like on a calendar for the following year. And we as a leadership team start with, okay, like what beers have worked in the past from this Express series that we want to, reintroduce to people on a limited basis. What's hot in the market, and we just those types of things, and which type of beer drinkers that we want to hit. So for example, one of the beers that we brought this year is called the Orange Creamsicle. So as a kid, do you remember having a orange creamsicle popsicle? We produce that in a beer form. So that's one thing that, that we bring back every year, just because it is a great seller. It's a fan favorite. So we come up with the style and type of beer that we would like to introduce to the market. And then that creative process then goes to our brewers to create the recipe, pull from different experiences or different stuff that they've done in the past. So it really allows the brewers to innovate and create new stuff.
As a quick follow-up question, and I'll end with this. You just mentioned thinking things out kind of a year in advance and then releasing things at certain points of time. So is it typical for a craft brewery to have say, okay, here's a spring release, and then take it off a month later or whatever the case might be, and not see it again to the next year? Is that typically how it works?
Absolutely. Different styles of beer, do well in different seasons, right? Like a stout or a porter, darker, heavier beers, that's going to be more your late fall, winter beers. Whereas a Mexican style cerveza, like our Playa cerveza, that's going to be a spring, summer beer. And the one interesting part in the market is, sours was always known as, the summer beer, and, the consumer was always excited for, when breweries started releasing their sour program. But now there's a brand new market for sours year round. So that's something that, craft breweries need to capitalize on as well.
Cool. Well, you know what, on that subject, before we wrap it up, what would you say is what makes your beer stand apart from your competitors in the brewery industry in your area anyway?
Yeah, our recipes, just, being, in business since 2008, we've had a long time to, perfect and reform our recipes. So that's definitely one thing that I believe sets us apart, is that we do make great beer, and great beer for, different styles of beer drinkers, from your lagers, your light lagers, IPAs, stouts, hazy pale ales. We do truly have a great product.
Awesome. Awesome. Andre, again, folks, if you're looking for ways to grow your business, if you're looking for ideas on how to implement rewards, perks, and incentives in your business, you're going to want to book a demo with Andre. The links for that are down below. And it's easy, no obligation. You can check out how Marketing Boost incentives might help grow your business and get a demo on exactly how you might implement incentives to your business with a demo. Links that are down below to book an appointment with Andre. Thomas, any last words from you on the arm wrestling events that you've got coming up and how folks can get a hold of you?
Yeah, the links are going to be below. I just want to say one more time that if you want to do something with an arm wrestling event, it's a very, very unique way to bring an audience in. If nothing else, it's almost like the new shiny object thing, where it's going to grab their attention at first, and then when they get there, they try your beers, they eat more food. And if we put something together where we have another event, and they're going to want to come back, because once they try this and participate in it, it's so much fun, and it builds the camaraderie and community, which is what Railway City Brewing is doing every day, with their community and the events that they're putting on. So yeah, hit me up with the links below if you're interested in hearing more about what we can do to help you bring arm wrestling to your brewery and bring in some more business for you. I'll be glad to get back to you as soon as possible. And go check out Railway City Brewing. Yeah, it's Kyle's working hard to put a content and community together with an audience. So I'm excited to be there and participate in this, and I can't wait to bring in a big crowd and have a great time.
Yeah, if you're in the area, don't forget July 30th at Railway City Brewery. We'll be there with a bunch of arm wrestlers having a good time, DJ, music, and arm wrestling. So, Kyle, we look forward to meeting you in person up there. And folks, if you like the content we brought you today, please give us a like. Share this episode with others. You know, a restaurant owner, you know, a brewery looking for ideas to grow their business. Share this with them, please. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Boost Solutions podcast. Thank you. Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Boost Solutions podcast with your hosts, Captain Marco Torres. Now it's on you. Take the next step now. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on how you can wow, delight, and surprise your clients with the most amazing draw card on the planet. So stay thirsty, my friends. Stay thirsty for knowledge. See you next time.